start with plain old open revolt, because that does happen sometimes, and sometimes quite effectively, sometimes very ineffectively. It's all about context. But I wrote this after the Arab Spring broke out, and then folks in Wisconsin fighting the Tea Party occupied the Capitol building for a month. And I went out there for a week during that, and a couple months later, folks in Chile and in Spain started these massive demonstrations, and they were all linked not by necessarily any human relationships, but just by an understanding, a common enemy. And I wrote this really inspired by this sign that I saw in the Wisconsin State Capitol building. And you have to imagine there's hundreds of people sleeping in the Capitol building at any point for that month, and up to 8,000 every day showing up for rallies. Literally every day. It's just like, you'd be like hanging out there, and then like 300, people would just march in, led by like 50 firefighters in their uniforms, like a bagpipe band. And it was just like, oh, another bagpipe firefighter march, But there was a sign in there that was up on the wall that said, Scott Walker is the governor of Wisconsin, unfortunately, and it said, I want Scott Walker to know that he's not just dealing with the people of Wisconsin, he's dealing with the people of the world. And I read that and was like, oh, that's a cool sign, But then I found out that that slogan was sent as a Facebook message from a 21-year-old student in Tahrir Square in Cairo, Egypt, which was going on at the same time. And this kid had been like, I'm going to send a Facebook message to those folks in Wisconsin, which is awesome. Awesome. Meanwhile, I had friends, old, bitter, jaded, radical friends who were like, whatever, like Wisconsin, like you're not even getting shot. Like, seriously. So apparently that made them like less cool than Egyptians because they weren't getting shot at, which is a stupid way to judge the success of a movement. But either way, this Egyptian kid seemed to see a clear connection. And a whole lot of other people did, because we were getting pizza bought for us through Facebook from this place called Ian's Pizza. And every day you'd see somebody walk up with like the most pizza you've ever seen. Like one time I went out and this guy was like trying to pull this huge pizza cart up the steps and stuff, and I was like, you need some help, man? It's like a lot of pizza. It was like bigger than he was. And that pizza was somehow people all over the world found out about Ian's Pizza, that you could email them or Facebook them and they would make a pizza. So they had a sign in Ian's Pizzas from all 50 states, and people from like some 30, 40 different countries. People in Iraq, people in Egypt, Tunisia, all over the world were buying pizzas for people in Wisconsin. And so I wrote this song for that process. And so much has happened since I wrote this song in May. It spread to Egypt, they were walking like Tunisians there. It spread to Egypt, they were walking like Tunisians there. And that spirit blew across Libya, and it ended up in Tahrir Square. And then it spread to Yemen, they were walking like Egyptians there. It spread to Bahrain, they're walking like Egyptians there. And that spirit blew across the Red Sea, and it ended up in Pearl Square. And it's an open door, but you only get what you go for. Then it spread to Wisconsin, they were walking like Egyptians there. It spread to Wisconsin, they were walking like Egyptians there. And that spirit blew across the Atlantic, and it ended up in Capitol Square. And it's an open door, but you only get what you go for. Spread to Syria, they're walking like Egyptians there. And then it spread to Spain, now they're walking like Egyptians there. And that spirit's blowing across the whole world. but it's an open door, and you only get what you go for.